Hey guys, hey friends. Yes, I'm back. I'm back. Now hold on now here. Let's see. We got to get something. We got to get something sorted out here. Hey friends, welcome. Pop-up podcast number 1. What is a pop-up podcast, you're asking? Well, a pop-up podcast is just what it says. I just felt like doing a freaking podcast out of the freaking blue, and by God, that's just what I did. Haven't been posting a lot lately, as most of you have noticed, especially those of you on my Discord group. Uh, yeah, life happens, guys. I've been busy with work. Very, very busy with work, as usual. Other things going on. So just not a lot of time to come down here to my hobby headquarters down here in the Gamers Den. But I can tell you that this is Friday, October 29th, approximately 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have some very good friends coming by later, about 4 p.m. We are going to play Black Seas in the gaming hall, and we're going to grill some hamburgers. Now, tomorrow morning around 11 a.m., we're going to do another round of gaming. We're going to order pizzas for lunch. We're going to game later into the afternoon, and then we're going to cook up some steaks and baked potatoes out on the grill. So it's going to be a gaming weekend. It totally pre-planned. I'm listening to my printer out here. I got the door open. I got my puppy's out here. He's on his little puppy bed. I got to keep an eye on him. He's a little Yorkie poo. I have a one of those little puppy memory foam beds for him out here, and I just heard he got off the bed. He gets hot, and then he goes and lays on the cool floor here in the gaming hall. So yeah, guys, I mean, this is the future content, at least for the foreseeable future. I want to do a lot more podcasting. I really enjoy podcasting. I love throwing these podcasts up on Twitch and also on YouTube. Soon to come, Locals is going to be doing live, so I can post on my Locals. If you're not on Locals, go to locals.com. I'm over there. Alan Smith Hobby and War Games. Please help support the future work I'm going to do here on the channel. I want to do a lot more, like I said, podcasting, interviews. Any of you that are in the gaming community and want to promote a new product, miniatures, rules, contact me over on my Discord group. Get over on my Discord. If you go back a few videos, I have links on a lot of the description boxes. Once this gets posted later, I will throw another Discord link. I make them so that they don't expire, so you should be able to still click on them and get to my Discord group. That's the best place to direct message me. I do not do Facebook. I do not do Instagram. I'm just done with those platforms. Discord has been working very, very well for me. So that's pretty much where I'm going to live as far as directly communicating with me. Obviously, if you make comments down below, I will respond as best I can. Yeah, I just felt led today to get on here and throw out some of my thoughts for the future, things going through my head. I will, guys. This is the new content for the channel. Really, I haven't had a whole lot of success, honestly, with my studio updates and these things. They don't get a lot of views. They don't get a lot of comments. I personally prefer doing the podcasting. Hey, Tabletop Generals. Hey, what's up, man? Here's another guy over on our Discord group. I think he's on our Discord group. V Gates. Ezinen. He's the German guy. I was thinking of someone else. He's been doing now Tabletop Generals. Check out his YouTube channel. He has been on a quest to do a lot of the World War II battles, especially in the Western theater. It ended up becoming a very big project, you know, cost wise and just time wise. Spitze, bitte. Um, yeah, so he's a friend and colleague. We welcome you. Thanks for tuning in, Tabletop Generals. Um, and like I said, he's like me, guys. This thing is just it's life. You know, it evolves. It progresses. We've done the big battles. I'm really wanting to gravitate towards more to doing skirmish level type games. I'm going to go over a few here that are coming to the channel in the future, and just excited. I'm not going to touch on any World War II stuff here today. I think Tabletop General he has a lot of 28 mil and 15 mil content. So go over there if you want to see some great battle reports. Yeah, I wouldn't say it failed. I wouldn't. That's a pretty strong word there. I would just say that it's hard to keep interest and keep things propelled. I know, it can get expensive, especially once you start getting into the Pacific theater. And these are the ideas that come to us, these grandiose ideas sometimes. And like I said, sometimes life gets in the way. We have been dealing with some serious worldwide bullshit. That's what we're going to leave it at. I'm not going to get too deep into that right now today. I just don't feel like it. I have this to say, by God, I hope everyone's safe. Does everyone feel safe? I hope so, because the economy of the world is pretty well fucked. Sorry for my French. I don't know that was a French. It's an acronym for unlawful carnal knowledge, but you get my drift. Now, we're not going to get into this tit for tat. I believe that you don't believe it, and this and that, and vax and unvax and all this nonsense. I just get tired of it. Anyway, I digress. Thanks, Tabletop. I appreciate that. We'll hope. Look, life goes on, man. Nature finds a way. We're gonna quote from Jurassic Park. Nature finds a way, right? You'll find that you're finding now that companies and individuals are finding a way. We're finding a way forward. We're gonna succeed one way or the other, aren't we, guys? With our hobby time, with our professional lives. Thank God I work outdoors for a living. I have a very successful, established business. My wife and I have built for 31 years. Hey, mini war painting. Thanks, man. I'm doing really well. The doctor had me lose 30 pounds. I've got another 5 pounds to go. Went in for my checkup and did my blood work, and shit was way out of whack, guys. I was drinking way too much, not to the point where I was causing trouble, but I was doing the late afternoon cocktails. Let's see. All told, now I'm going to be on this channel, guys. It's going to be just straight up, totally honest, because maybe someone might be able to glean some knowledge and something good from what I say. Let's see. I have not had a drink of alcohol, which is not completely true. I went to a celebration with my son and his girlfriend for her graduation from her master's program, and I did have a couple of cocktails there. I'm not going to lie. I did have a glass of wine at a restaurant in the last 8 months. I haven't had a drink of alcohol really, seriously doing any kind of daily drinking for 8 months. And I can tell you this. When I went to the doctor 9 months ago, had my blood work done, it was a wreck. I was pre-diabetic. My triglycerides were through the roof, et cetera, et cetera. Now, keep in mind, we haven't had a whole lot of time to get out of the house. My wife and I are avid bikers and hikers. We love the outdoors. I work outdoors for a living. So I'm a big nature guy. But the bottom line is, guys, after I went back for my follow-up checkup, uh, everything was really back to normal. He wanted me down. I was up to 225, and I was always a skinny lad in school and a band geek, all of this. But I had with my wife has a cooking and canning channel, Thrifty Chic Housewife. Check it out if you haven't. But she is a gourmet cook. Now we do a good job of, you know, portion control because she makes amazing food. But I was doing the afternoon cocktails, the Scottish ales. I was doing an ice cream sundae almost every night for dessert. These things slowly kill you guys. Alcohol turns into sugar. Sugar is the killer. So I drastically cut down on sugar, sugary desserts, sugary drinks, anything with sugar. I don't care what kind of sugar. You can have sugar like anything, but you have to have it in moderation. In moderation, you have to monitor that shit because I went from really, I was in bad shape. I didn't feel bad, but all of the indicators from blood, which don't lie, were indicating I was going to be dying an early death. So we'll go into that another podcast, maybe my plans for the future. Those of you that follow me on Discord or are friends that come here to the gaming hall to play know my future plans, my wife and I's future plans. Real quick here, I don't want to ignore him. Tabletop is asking about the Roman stuff. We still got Roman stuff. If I just walk right over here to one of my build tables right here, it's got 2 trays of Romans. We just haven't gamed much. My buddy Philip, the machinist, he came over. We did Napoleonics, which I noticed Tabletop Generals is really doing some good Napoleonics content. I've really fallen in love with that time period and the gaming. We're using black powder. We also use Hail Caesar for our Romans. It's still out here. It's just kind of been put on the back burner. Again, straight up, my wife and I went through a rough patch. And hey, guys, we've been together 28 years. Okay. So those of you younger guys, older guys, let's put it this way. It's that time of life for the female. And I'm not gonna lie, it was really rough. It was really rough. It was touch and go there for a while. We're pretty well back to normal. So with my health issues, me being 56, she's 52. We've been together, like I said, 28 years, been married 26, 2 grown kids, successful kids, great kids. We have a beautiful home, a successful business. Those things do not insulate you from the M. The M. We're going to say the M because I don't want to get flagged or anything. This is one of those touchy issues out there. They used to call it in the 50s and 60s the change. And I'm sure some of you guys that are in your wives are in their 40s or 50s know what I'm talking about. So we're just going to leave it at that. Yeah, man, that's the thing, dude. I didn't really feel bad. I guess if I think about it now for how I feel now to then, with doing calisthenics, once I stopped drinking alcohol, guys, the weight came right off. I mean, I lost 30 pounds. I have no beer gut anymore, and I know now why they call it a beer gut, because it is a beer gut. So yeah, look, guys, the place I'm at now, I don't even want to drink wine. I'll drink a glass of wine if we go like to one of the Lake Erie Islands and go to one of the wineries. We are up in wine country, Northeast Ohio. And look, I'm not a teetotaler completely, but I will tell you this, guys, that fucking alcohol was killing me slowly. At the end there, 9 months ago, I was at a gallon of vodka, Kettle One. I was drinking the good stuff. And I was drinking 2 6-packs of Dirty Bastard, which is a very strong Scottish ale. I think it was like 12% alcohol, maybe higher, 16%. A thick dark beer, and I would kill two of those 6 packs a week. She'd get me at the grocery, and yeah, pretty much a gallon of vodka a week. So that's late afternoon cocktails and etc. beer. Don't do it, guys. Just don't freaking do it. If you're a young guy coming up, yeah, it's going to be something you do in college. I'm drinking a lot of herbal teas, which I absolutely love. With honey, a little honey, apples. This is a cut up Honey Crisp apple. Changing my habits, guys. It's guys. I'm going to tell you straight the frick up. If you're got the beer gut and you're feeling sluggish, and as we get up in our upper 50s, for me, it was also prostate issues, right? So I'm on medication for that now. And we're hoping to get to the point here with some dietary changes and etc. I won't have to be on that medication because it does mess with you some in terms of some side effects. So most medications are going to have side effects. But I was the guy, guys. I've never been sick. My wife and I talked a few months back. When was the last time I'd even had a cold? Right? I'm that type of guy. I'm typically very healthy. I work outdoors, so I'm moving. I'm outside in the sunshine. I deal with people for a living, so I have interaction with people, which is a great thing for you. And overall, a great, successful life. Yes, we have our roadblocks. I'm not going to get to my initial content here. We'll see how this goes. But this is a ramble, guys. I felt, hey, I got to get on here, get back in the saddle again, and communicate to the audience out here, especially those of you in my age group or maybe a little younger, which tend to be a lot of the war gamers. And this is part of connecting, guys. It isn't all just gaming, right? We're also people too. That's what I love about the three guys coming over later today. And like I said, we're going to play some Black Seas. One of the gentlemen coming over was a huge help to me through my rough patch with my wife. He was always available to me. He was willing to listen. He also had been through some troubles with a woman. You know how it is, guys. But it's good to have that support. Yeah, I mean, guys, life's going to throw rough patches at you. The difference is, how do you get through the rough patch? Are we going to get through it? Are we going to be men? And in case of me and us, guys, most of us are going to be men at war game. Guys, we just have to put our big boy pants on, and we just got to move forward. You can't stop working. You can't stop being productive, as hard as it is sometimes. Death in the family, financial, marital, non-marital. I don't care what the issue is. You can't watch videos and say, oh, this guy's got the charmed life. He's had a sailboat. He he has a successful business. He lives in a nice home. He's got a beautiful wife who has a successful YouTube channel, 2 beautiful kids. Guys, yes, those things exist. Yes, and we've worked hard for those things and sacrificed for those things, but you can still have problems. There's no such thing as a perfect life. Okay. And can get in the way of the gaming. I'm not going to mention his name. He was one of the YouTubers out there that recently basically kind of shut his YouTube channel down. I think his content's still up, but I was a guest on I think it was his last podcast. And he went through a nasty divorce. And sometimes, hey guys, sometimes these things like death, I mean, you have a death of a spouse or death of a loved one. That's not going to change. You'll never be the same. But you still need to get through it. And wargaming helps. The friends you've make and I've made in wargaming have definitely helped. So you just have to get through it. It takes time. You have to work through it. I'm 46. My wife 47. We were 26 years together. Exact same guys. It's amazing. Like attracts like. It really does, and it's this force. I can't explain it. I'm not going to get religious on you, even though I am a Christian, uh, a practicing Christian. But I'm not going to push that on you, obviously. Uh, That's super bad. I think that was my printer. I'm printing up some more Black Seas cards for the guys that come over. I'm going to give them some cards, or their card holders. Um, yeah, guys. I mean, this is what goes through it, especially. And I'll say this. This has popped into my head here. Um, social media. Social media with women. Okay, so this is an issue. So I've talked to some customers, longtime customers. I mean, really, I've got customers, guys, I've had for between 20 and 30 years. We've literally are like friends, even though they pay me to do tasks for them. But over the years, we talk about kids and life and things, and we get to know each other. And I can tell you guys, this is becoming a huge problem. Yes, social media, I'm on social media right now. So it has its pluses, but it has a lot of negatives and pitfalls. And I call them slippery slopes, especially with women. And if you have an attractive woman, uh, it can become problems. And my wife has a lot of exposure on YouTube. That wasn't our issue. It turns out, I thought it was at one point. As again, my wife is very attractive for 52. We have a workout room here in the home, and she works out. I spare no expense with my wife. I've spoiled my wife and my kids. Let's put it that way. So make sure she always has the best of everything. But really, guys, menopause is all about. I said it, the M word. It's about the hormones, guys. So these hormones are nuts. Some women, it's fine. Some women go through it more smoothly than others. You'll find a woman like I have, who's emotional. She's very, I don't know what the word. They can tend to have a worse time with it, right? So you just have to get through it, guys. You have to grin and bear it, and thank God. Things happen for a reason. There's a reason why when my last one, she's a senior in college this year, is my last one, and a great kid. So I had more free time and finances freeing up, that I could invest in finishing off the rest of my basement, which is now my gaming hall. I got my little buddy in here, my little Yorkie poo. And I needed this because I would come down here and retreat because I have a nice flat screen. I can come down here and be by myself. I wasn't doing a whole lot of hobby, guys. It really took the wind out of my sails. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it really took the wind out of my sails. This one, a lot of things that I've been through in life, I've been through a lot of hard times and struggles to get to where I'm at. But has made me very tough. I consider myself a pretty tough person, emotionally, spiritually, physically. But this one really broadsided me. I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, so it's you can think of it as a midlife crisis for a woman, right? So yeah, get your back straight. Yep, you gotta look, guys. At the end of the day, you have to say, look, late 40s, like at me, late 50s, we still have a lot of life left, and we want to live every day to its fullest. Yeah, there's going to be those days. It's going to be tough to get through those days. I'm not going to lie, but that's what friends are for. I pray that you all have good friends. If you don't, contact me. Get on my freaking Discord group. Send me a direct message if you need some just to talk to somebody. If you're going through a tough time, it's important just to have someone listen, man. Like I said, for a while there, for weeks, it was touch and go, with this hormone issue. So we pretty well come out of it. We're pretty well back to normal. And just moving forward, I'm starting to get motivation back. I'm glad that my wife had planned some weekend with her sister. We're not going to go into all that mess, but she was going to go away, and I'm against that kind of thing. And that thing crashed and burned, and here we are. She's going to be around this weekend, but I planned this big weekend, this gaming weekend, and we're going forward with it. Damn it! So my buddies are coming over later. Like I said, they're going to come over again tomorrow. We're going to game all day. We're going to do steaks and baked potatoes out on the grill. We're doing pizzas. We're doing the whole 9 yards. My wife is a wonderful person, a great wife, great mother, but everything changes. Guys, younger guys, especially you guys in your 20s coming up. Social media is a huge influence on these women, the younger women especially. It becomes like an addiction. It really does. It becomes like an addiction, where they're literally on their phone or their tablet constantly. And as they mature, they get older. I mean, when they're having children and all these things, you're dealing with a lot, guys. We're yin and yang. It's the hormones. So when they get like that, and you know what I'm talking about, that time of the month, that's just a small taste for you young guys. What you deal with once a month with your significant other, that's a small taste of what the M is, the change. That's a sample. That's a sampling of what you're going to have to go through. We all have to walk through it. We're finding that divorce rates are spiking in their 40s and 50s because of this issue, because a lot of the social media and women's friends and things will reinforce these behaviors and encourage these behaviors. My midlife crisis, I bought a sailboat. And for, I think it was about 10 years, I kept a sailboat. We have a large reservoir close by me, with a beautiful sailboat marina. That was my midlife crisis. I wanted to learn how to sail, and I became a very good sailor, and I had a beautiful boat. And I just got to the point, it was like a camper. A lot of things in life, you just find that as you go along, you use it less and less. So I did sell it, maybe something time in the future, with my adventures in Florida. I may join a club, and I don't think I'd own another sailboat, but I would be happy to help crew a sailboat, and be part of the crew and help, someone that's got a beautiful sailboat, help them with the upkeep, the cleaning, the sailing, the crewing. So yeah, that's probably what the route I would go in the future, was sailing again. I love it. It's a great sport. You're one with nature. You really are. But yeah. So I hope you guys pick this up at a later date, getting more of a picture of where Al has been. But it's been mostly work, guys. I'm totally booked up. I'm even hesitant taking on neighbors at this point, as new clients, because I just don't have more time left. The issue I have coming into November here is getting the work done. My issue is not finding work. My issue is getting it done. When we're juggling the weather, like today, I'm down here that we've got inclement weather here in central Ohio, a lot of rain, a lot of wind. So yeah, I'm here getting the game ready. The game's all set, thawing out the hamburgers, and getting the French fries ready to cook for later. We're doing hamburgers and French fries on toasted brioche buns. Now, we're going to do it right, man. I feel if you're going to do it, damn it, you better damn well do it right. And food is one of those things in life you got to really enjoy. So Thrifty Chic Housewife, get over there. I constantly plug my wife. She has a great channel. She's really, in the 4 years she started that channel, when my daughter went off, the last one to leave the nest, I thought that would be really good for her. I thought that she would do good, and it's like a duck to water. It's growing, it leaps and bounds every month. And she's getting ready to expand it out to other platforms. She has merchandise. I'm super proud of her, super happy for her. and she's done a great job with it. So yeah, but that's all cooking, man. It's all cooking. So yeah, it's good, man. That's one of the things in life you got to really enjoy, even if something like simple as a ham sandwich. I mean, make a hell of a nice ham sandwich, right? Um, but yeah, we'll get back to the topic of wargaming here, guys. Sorry. Look, it's just gonna come out, right? I'm just gonna let it flow. I'm gonna let it flow, so we can connect, guys. We got to connect out here. I mean, there's a lot of guys out here. We're feeling isolated. I can find I feel isolated, even though I deal with customers in the field. Most of the time, they just want to pick my brain for whatever issue they're dealing with on their property, and then be gone with you. So yeah, so it's important to have a good close friend, somebody you can talk to. If not, contact me. Get on my Discord, DM me. I'll be happy to help. Glad to hear all is better, Alan. I wasn't aware of any of this. I've been doing commissions and strict deadlines. I've been tuning in as much. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Love to you both. Thank you. That's amazing, guys. That makes the time worth it. No money can replace that sentiment. Thank you, Mini Wargaming or War Mini Painting. Yeah, I mean that's what we got to do to get through this bullshit we've been all going through. It's got to come down to love, man. And this is a time in a marriage, a time in a person's relationships that's tested. That's tested. I had a very close friend that he also comes here to game. He's a fellow wargamer. He's a great guy. And he said, Al, you got to fight. You got to get in the trenches, man. You got to roll your freaking sleeves up. This is the time that matters the most. So I had to completely restructure some of my time management and with work and things to make sure I was giving my significant other more time and more attention, listening to what she was saying she needed and didn't need. That can be a full-time job, guys. As many of you long married men like Tabletop Generals, he's been married at the same time as my wife and I, 26 years. It can be a full-time job, and it really is. It's a full-time marriage is a full-time job. It's a very, very important part of your life. There's more. Hey, there's more plus than minus. And any of you guys that are engineers out there or business people, you end up adding up the pros and the cons, and the rest of the story. When the cons outweigh the pros, something's got to change. Well, let's get on here. We're going to go down to my share tab. We're going to share some of the stuff that I'm working on. I want to show you real quick, guys, what let me go to Chrome tab here. I'm kind of looking at Streamlab. I'm using StreamYard right now. I have a year's subscription I prepaid for. This is the only thing I don't like about StreamYard is it's a little difficult to navigate to get your tabs that you want to talk about on your podcast up. So, AKA for any of you guys looking to do software for a podcast, I would look at Streamlab. But let's get this up here. I get this up on the screen. And that's just basically what I'm working on today, guys. I've got it out here on my Giddy X Maker. I cannot recommend that printer enough. No, I'm not a paid endorser of this product. I wish. Giddy, if you want me to plug your products and will pay me, get on my Discord group and DM me. That's what I'm working on. I'm going to show you the Thingiverse file that I'm working on. It are these Black Seas ship mat. It's basically just a place you can put your ship card. I also use the clear plastic protectors that I purchased that you use for any card games or the card games that are out there. And so I have these. I printed up. I've got a file where I printed up like the little pegs that go in. I did those in black. I'm doing the mats and the card holders in red. It's a perfect complement. So there's different ways you can print them. I don't personally like printing. I like these turned out better for me since I'm using a PLA printer. Printing them flat, and then I just duplicated them on the print surface, and so I could print big batches of the pins. So there's that. So yeah, that's kind of the project that I've been working on today down here. Um, and let's do another one. Um, and I'm going to tell you what's going through my head right now with my hobby, where I'm at in the hobby right now. Um, I'm going to bring up the first thing that's really piques my interest, since I am currently rereading all of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. I'm almost done with the Hobbit. I found a really nice hardback set that has illustrations. So this is where I'm going. I want to do more, like I said, on my hobby time. I'm going to be doing more skirmish, guys. That's the way I'm going. I had talked in other podcasts with the Civil War, doing the mass infantry battle builds and paints. I'm not feeling it right now, guys. I'm just not going to push it. I have a couple of boxes of Perry plastics over here for Napoleonics. I still need to finish at some point this winter, and I'm going to do it with Lord of the Rings. I'm going to, get some orcs. We'll get some of the main characters, and that way, out here in the gaming hall, I can do a skirmish level Lord of the Rings, collect and print some cool medieval buildings, things like that. We can do really cool scenarios and things like that here in the gaming hall. That's really where I'm at. So there's that. So this is on the radar for getting some kits this winter. Obviously, still have my Star Wars Legion, which I love. I've got the core set for the Clone Wars. I still need to build and paint, and those are all skirmish level type game systems, and that's really kind of where I'm at right now, guys. I've got so much out here. I've painted mass battles, infantry battles, and until that urge comes back, even with my Civil War, we will do. I'll show you what I'm going to do here. We're going to go back over to the Perry site here. Where are you, Perry site? There they are. So yeah, I'm looking at Metal Perry. I'm going to, a platoon or two of Confederates, a platoon or two of federal troops, and just doing more skirmish actions, small scale battles at the current time. I'm not going to fool myself and invest, $500-600 into a bunch of plastic kits, and then they just sit for 2 years, right? Because it's a big undertaking when you start delving into these large scale mass battles. Maybe in the future, I may have a change of heart. But right now, guys, this is where I'm at. So Perry Metals, we're looking at, dismounted cavalry type situations. We're going to create all kinds of scenarios. One of the projects I wanted to always do was to get the Sarissa plantation house, and we're going to go there next. So let's get this closed out, and I will put up the Sarissa site. See, this just takes way too long. I'm hoping the Streamlab works better in this regard. I should be able to just line up my tabs and just click on them when I'm in the podcast, and they should just come up on the screen. I shouldn't have to go through all this rigmarole to share the screen. But that's where we're at. Word to the wise. So you see here they have a lot of stuff that's coming online. They've even got Zeppelins now. So we're here on the Sarissa Precision site. And see if I can find my 28 mil. So you got Dark Ages, south of the border. Anyways, I'm not finding it right off the bat. Let's look for Plantation House. Let's see how this works. Here we go. Oh, this is a kit. That looks really nice. To get something like that, it's got a couple of buildings. So we got a church, we've got a plantation house, we got a barn, and we also have a wagon. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about as far as kits. And then obviously with my 3D printer, there's a lot of things I'll be able to print for various things. We're not talking just Civil War. We're not talking just Lord of the Rings. We're also talking, and we talked about this on the last podcast, guys, is Saga. Really wanted to play this. My buddy Zach, he is a avid. My buddy Philip also will play this. It plays this and actually competes in tournaments. So we got our Saga, and they've really been building this system out, guys. There's a lot on here now. We got Magic, we've got Crusades, we got Hannibal, we got, of course, the Vikings. So this is on my radar, right? This is on my radar. So is the medieval Japanese stuff. I mean, as far as skirmish level, just less models to deal with, to get painted up, get ready. I think the skirmish level games that we're playing here, the Black Seas, which is really a more small scale. We're doing a big battle today and tomorrow, where we have a 12-foot Caribbean Ocean, lots of ships. I've got my first rates out. But we're talking about basically sticking to stuff that's more manageable. We're talking Star Wars Legion, Star Wars. My dog's having a coughing fit over here. Sorry, guys. But we've got Star Wars Armada. I want to play. My buddy Paul, he plays Armada. He has a lot of ships that he can bring over. We can play. And the Caribbean mats I have out here, when I purchased them, they also have a Starfield on the other side, right? So we can play the X-Wing. I have Star Wars X-Wing. So that's kind of where I'm headed here, guys, with this stuff. Probably heard of James Wapple over there in the USA. He uses oils to paint minis, but he's very much in the Lord of the Rings strat strategy game. Right? Check out his Instagram and Facebook, even just to invigorate you. Yeah, that would be good. I'm not on Facebook or Instagram anymore. I'm not supporting the Zuck at all, but I will look for him, see if he has any video content out there. But yeah, Saga has become my second game. Yeah, I mean, I really love the minis. I like the skirmish. Like I said, I'm not looking to paint the line troops right now. I just did that with Napoleonics a few months back. So yeah, even with my Civil War stuff here coming up to the channel, I'm going to be doing skirmish level, right? And just sticking with pretty much all metal, all pewter. And then, the Saga, the Lord of the Rings, just doing skirmish level stuff, like I said, with scenarios and things. I would love to do Dungeons and Dragons and find a group of guys, but that's a tough one these days, guys, with everyone's time. Let's see if I can do something else here. Saga. So we'll go ahead and close that. Let's try this. Does that work? Nope. And just don't forget, guys, if you have a cell phone, most of you have smartphones, that's all you need to do to get on a podcast. You just need something with a camera, plug in your power cord, get over on my Discord group, and let me know that you'd be interested in joining me on a pop-up podcast. I will have pre-planned podcasts where I have guests. Like I said, I'd like to do interviews. If any of you like to appear on the podcast, War Mini Painting, and plug your services, I'm game, man. Just get a hold of me over on my Discord group, DM me, and then when I do a pop-up podcast or a planned podcast with an interview, I can just send you a link. It's super easy. You click on the link, it takes you right there. If you have a webcam, on your laptop, any kind of camera, you're good to go and you're in. It's not that complicated to get on a podcast. So keep that in mind, guys, if you're watching this on the replay. My friend Sammy in the UK, they've been really struggling over there with a lot of the restrictions and the vaccine passports. He's been getting more involved with that. He's has been a frequent guest on the podcast. He's a good friend. He's a great guy. We'll be doing more with Sammy, of course, and some other guests coming up in the future. But I really like the. Let's see. Hope has a blog spot. Oh, cool. I have to check that out, dude. Thank you. Oh, right. I remember that now. Sorry about that. Yeah. It's coming back to me now. Little brain fade. Uh, so yeah, I mean, keep that in mind for the future if you want to pop on another podcast. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at, guys. Just wanted to throw something up quickly today here. Just random. Um, show what I'm kind of working on here in hobby time for me. Got some good gaming going to go on this weekend, some good food, some good camaraderie, doing some 3D printing. I still have stuff over here that's been sitting there for 2 months that's unfinished as far as painting. Some things on my airbrush booth that still needs top coated. Some Star Wars Legion stuff, C3PO and R2D2. I think need top coated. Just wasn't feeling it, guys. Totally lost my motivation there. It's slowly coming back as far as my building and painting aspect of the hobby. So yeah, I appreciate anybody that's popped on here, has seen it pop up on their YouTube notifications. Don't forget, I'm over on Twitch, guys. I'm also on Locals. I'm on rumble.com. As you know, Rumble this past week, being a business guy and an amateur investor, was been following the merger of Rumble and Locals. Locals is really like Patreon, and Rumble is like YouTube. The different payout for the advertising. YouTube absolutely sucks. They just all they do is take from the creators, guys, and it's going to start to hurt them. Their business model is broken. My wife is going to be going to Patreon. She'll still be putting videos on YouTube, but it's also going to Patreon to get more direct support from subscribers. Her merchandise is taking off. She's doing well on selling merchandise. She puts a lot of time in her videos with the cooking and the canning and the other content that she puts up, lifestyle content. And you can make some cash, but it's not enough. YouTube doesn't pay enough to the creators, especially the ones putting out content that's very popular, like what my wife puts out. You find in their business model, the biggest flaw is they operate Google and YouTube, operate in some of the most high dollar areas as cost of living goes. Okay, so they're paying way too much out in payroll and to I guess their closet investors we don't really know about. They are publicly traded, obviously, but they need to get their act together because they're losing subscribers or they're losing creators like crazy. You're getting a lot of creators going to Rumble, Locals, Patreon, because of that fact. I mean, I've been on YouTube for 8 years. I was monetized at one point. Now you'll notice, guys, there's advertising on my videos. I see none of that. So that's the other change they made last year. Is if you're putting content on here, they can put advertising on your videos. And until you get through their hoops, which is 1,000 subscribers and I think it's 250,000 view hours or view minutes over a year, a 12-month period, you can't monetize, and you don't get any of those proceeds from the advertising. Which for me, I had hoped at some point I would get 50, $100 a month. I knew it wouldn't be much because I don't have a huge amount of subscribers. I'm about 1,500. And I would use those to buy kits and paints and whatever else just to kind of help, round out the hobby. and maybe do more reviews. Those things are just they have not produced um, anything. There's just too many people doing bat reps, guys. Too many people doing reviews. It's completely saturated. I don't care what business you get into these days. My business that I do have done for 31 years. I don't care any business you get into, guys. You're coming out of college. You want to start your own business at some point, which I encourage you to do, or you're not going to college and at some point you'll want to start a business. You have to stick with it. It's going to take time because everything is saturated. So you just have to stick with it. Find something that you love or enjoy and also make a living at, and you have to stick with it. You can't go in 2-3 years and say, why aren't I making 100 G's a year? Because it's not going to work like that usually, right? What is it? The threshold is 5 years before you can really start getting yourself in. I know customers who own McDonald's franchises, Wendy's franchises. Notice I'm saying this in plural. They own multiple. I think Wendy's, the guy I know that owns Wendy's, which are fast food restaurants for those who don't know Wendy's. Very good food. It's one of the better fast foods out there, like Arby's. I like Arby's a lot. They don't really start making good cash, guys, until they own five restaurants, right? They're not going to get up to 100 grand a year as an owner of those franchises until they get to about 5 units because of the overhead. I mean, by the time you pay the employees, and they're looking for ways to cut the employees out, guys. They're going to have machines making the burgers, and they're going to have machines serving you your food. Because, and I had employees once upon a time. Let me tell you what, it is no fun, especially these days with the lack of work ethic and people just don't give a shit. And the fast food companies are developing systems where they may have one, maybe 2 people in the franchise that are making sure the machines are working and things are being done, and that's it. They'll be high paid people. They'll be almost like tech people, and that's it. I mean, you're going to come through a drive-through. They probably won't even be able to come into the new fast food restaurant concepts I've seen. Raising Cane's is one that's developing a concept where it's all drive-through. There are no more coming in. You go through, a machine will feed you your food in a sack, right? That's what you're going to get, right? Too many people, especially in the United States, do not make their lazy ass 16-year-old kids get off their butts and go get a freaking job at a fast food restaurant. God forbid Precious has to go and do a 20-hour-a-week job. Poor little thing. I would be looking at the free milkshakes and the hamburgers, man, and the paycheck I'm going to get to take out my girlfriend or my boyfriend or whatever the case may be. But we don't have that these days. What? They don't even date anymore, do they? They just do hookups and watch Netflix, right? What a disgrace. One of my biggest things when I was in high school, I worked at a cafeteria 5 years up till I started college. And when I first started there, I didn't even have my driver's license. I used to ride my bicycle there. I loved working there. We got free food. There was pretty girls from the local high schools. And yeah, man, I love taking girls out for dates. I mean, I pick them up, go to the door, none of this honking bullshit. Shake the hands of the dad. We'd go out to a pizza place. I didn't have a ton of money, but we went out and had some nice food somewhere, and then went to a movie, right? And yeah, so where's that gone? I mean, that was a rite of passage. That was one of my favorite things. My wife and I, when I first asked her out, Holy Diver, welcome to the club. Good to see you, Holy. Yay. Hey, maybe I should do an epic rant like Holy Diver. I love watching his rants because that's kind of what I'm doing right now before I get off this podcast. It's almost 3:00 here. I got guys coming. They should be here around 4 for gaming tonight and hamburgers and french fries. But yeah, I'm with you, Holy Divers. These younger people today are complete. Well, not all. There's some good kids out there. There's a local fast food place, Culver's, it's called. Great food, great hamburgers, blah, blah, blah. It's over here in a town close by us. The one we go to when we go through that way. Maybe doing a bicycle ride or something. We'll hit the Culvers on the way home. There was some good kids working in there the last time I went in there. They were good kids. They were on the ball. They were making some killer freaking hamburgers and French fries. But excuse me, a lot of these kids today, and if you're one of these younger, get off your fucking ass and do something productive every day. I've got customers who told me they've got neighbors. There's got kids in their 20s and 30s that live in their house and don't come out because they got this problem and that problem and they've got anxiety. Oh, bullshit. Get off your ass. Roll your fucking shirt sleeves up and do something fucking productive with your life. Because you're going to wake up one day and mommy and daddy are not going to be paying the bills. They're going to be dead. And guess where you're going to be? On the street. On the street. So I highly advise any of you young kids that think you're just going to get through life playing video games on Twitch. I would highly advise you to rethink that equation. A lot of trades out here, guys. My trade, landscape, contracting. I mean, you name the trade. I don't care what it is. You literally have so much work out here, you can't possibly take it all on. I'm literally turning business away, and keep pushing my prices higher, thinking, well, I'll quote a higher price, and then they won't want their trees and shrubs fertilized. I was at $100. I'll raise it up to 150. Schedule it. 175. Schedule it. 200. Schedule it. Now I'm like, well, shit, I got so many root feedings to do this fall. I don't know if I'm going to get them all done. And that's charging top dollar. Now I've got experience and I've got a reputation out there and a truck with a logo on it. But holy diver, truck driving. Guys, you don't have to go to college to make killer money, right? The guy I know that owns the Wendy's restaurants, he worked in a Wendy's and then he worked his way up to manager. And they had a program where he could, they basically loan you the money. You open your own franchise, and over years you pay that loan back, and you pay yourself and you pay your employees, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a point where the parent company they have a financing program where they'll finance you another franchise. Hey, he's done really well at this franchise. We're going to finance him for a second franchise, and then 3 franchises, then 4. The guy didn't go to college, and he owns 5 Wendy's franchises, and he lives in $1 million house. Okay. Right. So, hey, he started flipping burgers at Wendy's. Oh, I can't do anything while I flip burgers. Yeah. Dave Thomas. Exactly. Dave Thomas. He used to sell hamburgers down here at Ohio State Fair, North and Columbus, Ohio. That's how he started. And people said, damn, these are good hamburgers. Well, and he opened up his first restaurant. It's just a hole in the wall. That's how Wendy's started. He built it up into a national corporation, right? And they're in with Arby's. The parent company of Arby's also owns Wendy's. So there's all that going on. And Arby's is one of my favorites. As far as fast food goes, we don't eat a lot of fast food, but there's ones, Culver's, Wendy's, Arby's. They got better quality food. I think I don't have problems like for days after I eat it. So yeah, guys, don't think for one second you got to go and get that women's studies degree, right? Don't do it. Just don't do it. Plumbing, you hear all this stuff. HVAC, heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. That's another big field out there. I got a guy. He lives 2 doors down from me. I live out in the country, and we all have big properties out here. But he was like me, running his business out of a big barn and outbuilding. And in college, I worked for Granger, which is industrial supplies. He used to come in there, so I knew him, and I saw his trucks going up and down the road years ago. Well, he does our HVAC work here at the house, and he started with that one truck. He's running like 30 trucks out of there now, down the road from me. Mechanical business, which is all HVAC. I mean, he says he's got so much work he can't get to it all. You catch it on here, guys. If you want to, roll your sleeves up, you're going to get a little sweaty, get a little dirty. Let everyone point, hey, look, he's He has to wear a uniform. I wear a uniform. I have uniforms. I wear uniforms because I want to look professional. I have a nice logoed, two nice logoed trucks. They can point and stare and he. Guess what? I'm going to take that to the fucking bank, right? And I have taken it to the bank. Let's put it that way. So they can sit in their little office job in their cubicle and scrimp and scrape. And a lot of these tradesmen out here, guys, and truck drivers, they're making bank, especially when these truck drivers get their own rig and they get in with a trucking company that feeds them work, right? As an independent contractor, they can pick and choose what they want to haul and when they haul and where they haul. Eventually, like me, come out, get a place in the country where they've got a place they can park their rig and work on their own rig. There's several guys like that around me. Beautiful Peterbilts, and these guys are making bank. I mean, they have beautiful homes, beautiful properties, and they're independent, right? That's the other thing I'll say. When you start your own business, guys, it's so much better being independent. Right, exactly. Holy, we need mechanics, track operators are willing to stack boxes, and you're finding with the supply shortages here, guys, a lot of this is coming down to they just can't get people to do the work. And it's good work. I mean, a lot of those guys that take those containers off ships and put them onto trucks, some of these guys are making 40, $50 an hour. Okay. And that's just to start because it's skilled labor. But sky's the limits in trucking right now, guys. If you can haul containers, you do a flatbed or whatever rig you need to haul that. I'm not an expert on it. I do follow Super Trucker Dan. He's one of my favorite YouTube channels. Super Trucker Dan. He's a flatbed operator. He just bought a stretch Peterbilt. It's got the big sleeper cabin with the kitchen and everything. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This guy's making bank, right? And because it's just you name your price, you're going to get it because they want that shit hauled out of there. So I'd be seriously rethinking college now. My son is in a field where he had to have a college degree, and he's doing very well in every aspect of his life right now. So, but he was always good at math, right? He's just one of these math people. He's just a whiz at math, and he's taken that to the bank. So I'm not saying, hey, everybody has to go be a plumber. I'm just saying, hey, some of these fields people go into, guys, it's just a dead end street. Teachers right now, guys, I hate to say this, I love teachers, and I think it's great to have teachers, unless they're teaching CRT. Is they're just dime a dozen. They're a dime a dozen. There's so many people coming out with education degrees and master's degrees. Unless you know somebody, you're going to get stuck in some rural school district making 30 G's a year, barely scraping by. Crane operator. Here you go. Right here. Crane operator, 45, $60 an hour. Right? You seen the movie, with Tom Cruise, where they're fighting the aliens. That's what he did in the movie. Remember? And he's got the kick-ass freaking fastback, or what is it? Fastback Mustang. I love that movie. Dang it. I can't think of the name of it. Brain fade. Crane operator. The guy's begging him to work overtime at the start of the movie. So anyways, I'm going to have to get going here. I go upstairs and get the hamburgers marinating. That's the other thing we did, guys, with the meat. Starting 2 years ago, when we started first prepping, 4 or 5 years ago, with all the prepping, we just started splitting a cow with my brother-in-law. So we've got 2 freezers full of meat. I have 2 refrigerators completely full. I have 2 pantries completely full. Generators, blah, 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 extra gas, extra propane, extra whatever you want to say, I've got extra of. I've got piles of ammo. Okay. Be independent, guys. Be strong. Be able to provide for yourself and your family. Do not rely on anyone else. Be able to survive on your own for that 60 to 90 day period. If the grid goes down, if we have a freaking, magnetic pulse. I don't care what it is. It could be an ice storm. It could be a tornado. You should be able to survive on your own for 30 to 60 days, 90 days without any government intervention. Okay, I would highly recommend that. Yeah, none of those losers are math teachers. Right. I mean, and guys, so many people are taking their kids out of the public schools now because they won't give you vouchers where you can take your property tax money and either use it to teach your own kids, or you can take it to a school that's not teaching all this bullshit. And people are they're getting fed up, guys. We don't really have a lot of options right now until we have a federal voucher system. And people are coming to the school board meetings and fighting back and telling them, no, we're not doing this. And they're getting some traction, but like with the COOF issues we've dealt with for really it's going on 2 years now. You just can't get through to these people. I mean, they just won't get off our backs. And that's one of the reasons, 26 years ago, I started my own business. I started for the big national company. I did my time. I worked my way up. I learned the trade, and then I went off on my own. I found my niche. Okay, that's what I recommend. You want to be a plumber, you want to start working for a company, learn the trade, learn the ins and the outs, and find your niche. Find out, hey, where's the money at in this? You got your, because I'm going to stay on the truck driver thing since Holy's on here, is Sergey is another one I follow. Drachev, he's a Russian, came over here, immigrated. He lives in Canada. He's heavy haul. Now he does the heavy stuff. He hauls the big cranes and that kind of stuff. And that's good money too, but he's got a lot of investment in equipment. And he's working it, man. He's making the bank. So with that, I will lead everyone adieu. I will do another pop-up podcast at some point. It might be a week, it might be 2 weeks. I can't promise you anything. When I get the urge and the urge strikes me, I will come down here to the studio and get online with you guys. And thanks for the chat. Thanks for the encouragement. Thanks for following along. And I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.